economic crisis in the late 90s.
자, 그 다음 핵심 문장 보겠습니다. 많은 기업들이 뭘 거쳤죠? 그렇죠. 구조 조정이란 걸 했죠. restructuring. structure 하면 구조인데 그걸 어떻게 해요? 바꾸는 작업이기 때문에 restructuring 하면 구조 조정이란 말이 되겠습니다. 그것도 경험하거나 하는 거니까 go through가 되겠죠. 자, 준비되셨으면 갑니다.
Many companies went through restructuring. Many companies went through restructuring. One more time. Many companies went through restructuring.
특히 금융권, 특히 그중에서도 은행권이 큰 타격을 입었죠. The banking sector was hit hard. hit hard. 자, 맞은 건데 크게 맞은 거죠. 그래서 강타당했다, 심한 타격을 입었다라는 말이 되겠습니다.
The banking sector was hit hard. The banking sector was hit hard. One more time. The banking sector was hit hard.
많은 사람들이 일자리를 잃었습니다. 자, 그래서요. 실직을 했다. Many people lost their jobs. 그렇죠? Many people became jobless. 자, 이렇게 하셔도 됩니다. 두 가지 다 연습해보죠.
Many people lost their jobs. Many people lost their jobs. Many people lost their jobs. Or you can also say, many people became jobless. One more time. Many people became jobless.
자, 그러나 한국이 위기 상황으로부터 아주 빠른 속도로 회복을 했다는 얘기죠. Korea recovered fast from the crisis. Korea recovered fast가 부사입니다. 빠르게란 뜻이에요. 형용사도 되지만 from the crisis 갑니다.
Korea recovered fast from the crisis. Korea recovered fast from the crisis. One last time. Korea recovered fast from the crisis.
Okay, I think it's time to listen to our dialogue one last time.
Okay, so here is the dialogue one last time. You are to listen very carefully and repeat out loud. Here we go.
Korea went through an economic crisis in the late 90s, right? Korea went through an economic crisis in the late 90s, right?
That's correct. We had to ask for help from the IMF in 1997.
Did the IMF help?
Yes, it did. Many companies went through restructuring. Many companies went through restructuring.
The banking sector was hit hard, right? The banking sector was hit hard, right?
That's right. Many people lost their jobs in the financial sector. Many people lost their jobs in the financial sector.
But Korea recovered fast from the crisis. But Korea recovered fast from the crisis.
It did. We posted a 9.5% growth in 1999 and 8.5% in 2000.
That's quite impressive.
I guess you could say that.
Alrighty, what's coming up next?
Okay, we're going to take you to our Tell Me segment where Tommy is waiting for us. She'll be asking this question today. How did your country deal with the economic crisis?
그럼 이제 우리나라가 이제 경제 위기를 어떻게 극복했는지 얘기할 수 있으면 상대방한테도 물어봐서 경제 위기가 있었던 나라는 뭐 거의 대부분이잖아요. 어떻게 극복을 했느냐? 자, 그럼 물어보겠습니다.
Okay, let's take you to Tell Me.
Hi there everyone, 여러분 안녕하세요. I'm Tommy on Tell Me. Now today for Unit 145, our question is, how did your country deal with the economic crisis? How did your country deal with the economic crisis? Well, let's go ask other people and see how their country dealt with the economic crisis. Let's go! Hi, how are you guys doing?
Good.
Alright, what's your name and where are you from?
I'm Brian Wheaton. I'm from Nevada, USA.
I'm Ankit Agarwal. I'm from India, Mumbai.
Okay, that was a long name, but Brian, nice to meet you, and nice to meet you. Today our question is, how did your country deal with the economic crisis? So, I'll start with Brian.
The ongoing one? the ongoing.
So, in your opinion, you think that there is an ongoing crisis in
yeah,
your country?
definitely is one in my country. Yeah.
Okay, so what kind of crisis is the state's going through right now?
Well, it's really high unemployment. For us, it's like over 10%,
Wow.
which is pretty high.
Okay.
And a lot of people are out of work. A lot of people are looking for work. People that have jobs are worried about losing their jobs. And so there's a lot of anxiety. But fortunately, I have a job. I have a good company that I work for.
That's good.
And so I'm here on business here in Korea.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, and India currently is not going through any economic crisis, but we had an economic crisis during 80s.
Okay.
And it was around in 90s when the whole Asia was in economic crisis.
Right.
So right now India is in a good shape, right?
Okay. Back in the 80s, 90s, when Asia was all going through a crisis, how did India deal with it? In what ways?
Well, I'm not much sure about that time, but I think government tried to bring a lot of tried to do a lot of exports in terms of.
Okay.
So we built up some back offices work. So we got a lot of outsourcing from other countries and. So.
Okay. And back then, through the crisis, did a lot of people lose their jobs, and did companies go through restructuring and stuff like that?
Yeah, a lot of companies went through restructuring. Some companies went bankrupt too.
Okay.
There's a lot of unemployment.
Okay. And Brian, for the States, you said that the States is going through a crisis right now. What about in the past events? Was there a time when the States went through a crisis?
it seems like we go through something like this every 10 or 15 years. The last one was also in the mid-'80s.
Okay.
They last 2 or 3 years to try to get through them, and the economy picks up again. People move around. The places that lose jobs, other places pick up jobs, so people move from one part of the country to another. And that's usually how most people deal with it, is just moving somewhere else where the jobs are better.